Welcome to Behind the Clinic Doors, a Foot Health podcast, the place where we lift the lid on the weird, wonderful, funny, and damn right inspiring world of foot health. Today I'm joined by Fahid, podiatrist and creator of Pedistick. Can you tell me a little bit about your background and why you trained as a podiatrist?
Yeah, sure. So I graduated 2016 from New College, Durham. It was a second career option for me. Round about when the first recession hit, I thought, let's go back into study. I had a degree in biomedical science, but I knew about podiatry already. Growing up with the flat feet, I was exposed to it from a very young age and quite like the biomechanical element. So, because I like science, I love biomechanics, I love human nature, I pursued a career of podiatry.
Oh, right, interesting. Is any of your other family members podiatrists or just
No,
sticking with biomechanics and things
we
like that?
we have a doctor in the family, but I was the first to pursue a medical profession.
Wow, wow. Um, Obviously, within your clinic, what's a common misconception that people have about foot health? What have you seen?
A big one we see is the foot stops growing by the age of 16, 18. We find patients are coming in with ingrowing toenails, calluses, corns, and sometimes they're wearing shoes 2, 3 sizes too small. And we'll ask them, when do you last measure your shoe size? And
Yeah.
probably they'll think about it. They don't remember because last time they did it
And they
was
like the
probably when
shoes as well, don't they? They like them.
and they love their shoes.
Yeah, I know, I
So
know. Can't get
I
them to
think
change
it's
the shoes.
something which is not taught to us that the foot, there's so many bones, they're constantly remodeling. The shape and size will constantly change. There will be pressure if you are wearing ill-fitting shoes, and
Yeah,
that can un be the underlying cause to a lot of problems. And the solution to a lot of problems as well is wearing the right shape and size of shoes.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Are there any small daily habits that people can adopt to take better care of their feet?
Yeah, be conscious of your foot shape, your foot size. When you're buying new shoes, be very, very conscious that they're not too tight. And emollient use as well. I think in this day and age, we're not creaming our feet. A lot of daily factors will influence, obviously, skin hydration. We see a lot of younger generation coming in with very dry skin. I think that's probably affected by the lifestyles we hold nowadays, where we're very
Yeah,
busy
I do
people.
see a lot in clinic
Uh,
as well. It's the younger generation that
yeah,
do not cream their feet at all.
yes,
So obviously this brings us to talk about Pedistick.
yes.
What made you think of the idea? How did it come about?
So believe it or not, the idea came to me in 2014. I was a second year podiatry student, and by then we were encouraged to advise patients, inform them of the benefits of using a urea-based cream. And in the podiatry setting at school, it was majority elderly generation. And they would often say, yeah, we'll buy the cream, but we can't use it because they can't simply bend down. So it kind of got my mind ticking that there should be something available that's a product designed solely just to cream the feet. Um, but lo and behold, once becoming qualified, um, we give the advice, apply cream one way or another, and that there are some techniques out there, not always the most reliable, but they're not solid, they're not a perfect solution. So 3 years ago, myself and a small team I work with, we put our brains together and came up with Pedistick.
I think it's a brilliant idea. How was it designed, and then how did you test it? Well,
So, um, my background being podiatrist, we were quite lucky because we have a good clientele of patients who are willing to try and test Pedistick. So, one, we had involved a product designer who took any bit of our feedback and we gradually tweaked the device to where it is at the moment. But me and my fellow podiatrists, where our input really came was one, were we able to establish eliminating the strain and someone bending down? So often, whether they have arthritis or some mobility issues where they cannot reach the feet, we made sure Pedistick was able to, make contact with the foot and the tissue quite effectively. But most importantly as well, the applicator itself is uniquely textured to be able to retain a urea-based cream. It's dimpled to provide a little bit of sensory feedback. That's where our input really came. From that perspective, once a device makes contact with the tissue on the foot, it's gonna transfer the cream across quite nicely.
Yeah. So you were saying about the applicator designed
Yeah,
to take the urea-based cream.
yeah,
That's how it stands out a bit different from anything else that we obviously when I've been in clinic, I try to say to people, use the back of a wooden spoon, old
yeah,
slipper, things like that. Well, actually, with Pedi Stick, it's actually designed to hold the cream on there. So there's no accidents or people aren't getting in a mess with things and
yeah.
ruining old slippers as well, or ruining
That's
slippers.
that's
Um,
correct. Yeah.
so yeah, from my point of view, when I was looking for something to help my clients apply the cream to their feet, that's how I stumbled upon you, and I just thought, oh, this is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, wanted to give it a go. So what
Yeah.
kind of feedback have you had?
Well, the general feedback is they absolutely love it. One, they think it's a terrific idea. It's quite a simple idea, but it's a good one. Generally, once someone has obtained themselves a pedi stick, it takes a couple of uses getting into the habit of using it effectively. But it's learned practice. The more someone uses the pedi stick, the easier it becomes. But the brilliant of the device is they don't need to stretch anymore. They're not in pain and they're able to commit to that daily application of applying cream. So when we look at long-term outcomes, are they protecting their foot health? And ultimately, the answer is yes, because they can cream their skin is healthy. They can follow on the advice which us podiatrists will give to our patients.
Yeah, for me, having one in clinic to allow clients to use it so they can then because they'll often say I can't reach or they just have to yeah, because of arthritis, because of back issues, or just because they
Yeah,
for age related they just can't reach. So
yeah,
I've given them the Pedi Stick to use. So like from my point of view, it's been really handy to have one in the clinic so they can have a feel of how to use it and they get quite excited about it. So
yeah.
they're able to then go on and think about purchasing that themselves. So
That is
tried
quite,
it. So I think for other
yeah.
clinicians to have one at hand in the clinic for them to try would be a good idea as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There is quite a simple device. Believe it or not, there's 17 different individual components that goes into making the Pedi stick. We specifically made it lightweight, but we made
Yeah.
it quite sturdy at the same time as well. So let's say those who are heavy-handed or those that require that extra bit of reach is on a telescopic handle. We try to make it easy for majority of people to be able to use Pedi stick. But the target market is those who are struggling to bend down in combination with those who might have compromised skin integrity. So
Yeah.
the big one being diabetes,
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
rheumatoid arthritis, those on anticoagulants, blood thinners. For them, it's the ideal product to be able to keep up with for health maintenance.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So obviously it speaks for itself then. The Pedi Stick fits into the maintenance of most people's daily foot care, doesn't it, really? So it brings me on to ask you, obviously within your clinic,
Yeah.
what is the podiatry myth or the most unusual foot case that you've seen?
Okay. I think one of the myths that we come across quite often is it's a very common one is particularly with new patients, the more they file their skin, the quicker the dry skin and the calluses or corns will go away. And believe it or not, we've had patients who have spent fortunes going for a pedicure to the extent they're going every once a week to have it filed away, shaved away, or whichever chemical treatment they're undergoing. But I think as podiatrists, we're trained with a medical background. We know the science behind the skin. We know that the skin has a 20 to 30-day skin cycles, and the more you file it, it goes into a frenzy. So actually, less is more in that case, where to use a good quality emollient, and most likely the dry skin will solve itself, the calluses will reduce. Unfortunately, there's a lot of devices on the market, like the ped eggs and the rotary systems, which it can overdo it.
I
Um,
know, I know.
and patients who often been going lifelong for a pedicure, maybe once in a while, absolutely fine. But if they're going on every
Every 2 weeks,
every 2 weeks,
it's absolute waste of their money because they can actually have
absolutely
bigger benefits,
financially.
can't they, for applying urea-based cream?
Absolutely, absolutely. Financially, it'll have an impact, and if they go in every 2 weeks, well, something's not working.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? It's
yeah.
crazy.
Once we manage to convince patients to look, hold the filing, apply the cream, they absolutely love it. They
Yeah.
they see the benefits in using a cream and maintaining skin hydration. It's
I
far
think that's it,
important.
isn't it? Once
Yeah,
they've done that and they can see the benefits, they will continue to do it. But it's actually, it's I think nobody actually quite believes that the cream will do the job until
yeah,
it does take a few weeks, but actually it makes a huge difference. It's
yes,
trusting in the advice they're given.
yeah. The way we approach it in our clinic is we explain the science behind it. Giving them a reason why such thing
Yeah.
is not working. So just give them that little bit of science in how the skin builds up over time, how it's had its natural cycle. Then they can reflect with that advice and kind of put it to sense why overfiling it will actually long term make it worse.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, if listeners want to learn more or get their hands on Pedistick, where should they go?
So we have our website. It's www.pedistick.com. We post on there quite regularly. We have a blog as well. Off the website, Pedistick can also be purchased. But the good news is, in March 2016, we are exhibiting at the Foot and Ankle Show in Liverpool. It's exciting for us because we are releasing two new applicator heads. They will be revealed at the show. So not only Pedistick is designed to cream the feet, but there are other function and health maintenance of the foot as well. That'll be revealed at the conference.
Oh, that's brilliant. So, if other practitioners want to come and trial it as well, they can. So, that's
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
And have you got any special offers on at the moment or ongoing?
So we've literally just posted two bundle offers. So you could purchase a Pedistick with urea-based cream discounted in both strengths, 10% urea and 25%. But every time there's an event taking place, such as a festival or Christmas, we do post some generous discounts. So you have to keep posted.
Okay, perfect. So, foot and ankle show, if any practitioners want to come and see you and just have a chat with you and have a feel of what Pedi Stick is, um, then they can see you at the foot and ankle show then.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Perfect. Okay, then we'll bring it to an end. And I just want to thank you for joining me today. And take care to everyone. And most importantly, take care of your feet.